أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. Verse number 69 of Surah Nisa. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ فَأُولَئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا. Whoever obeys Allah and the Messenger, they are with those whom Allah has blessed, including the prophets and the truthful, the martyrs and the righteous, and excellent companions are they. This verse comes as an encouragement of the believers to follow the instructions given in the previous verses about obeying God and the messengers. Ati'ullaha wa ati'ur rasul, ati'ullaha wa rasul, in different terms, that you have to obey God and the messenger. Now, those who obey God and the messenger have a great reward according to this verse. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ, whoever obeys God and the messenger. And we mentioned before the difference between the obedience of God and obedience of the messenger. Although the obedience of the messenger is the obedience of God, however, there are certain things, rulings, decrees, instructions which may not be in the revelation of God, but the messenger himself decides about them. And the verse tells us, and the previous verses were telling us, that you have to obey those things as well. Not everything said by the prophet was a revelation. And the verse is telling us, regardless whether it is revelation or not, you have to obey him. Now, it says whoever obeys God and the messenger will be with a group of people. So it means that these people, these groups which are mentioned here, are not in a sense instructed to obey God and the messengers because they do that by default. Because their whole existence is that obedience. And therefore they stand out among the believers and they become a distinguished category. Nabiyyin, Siddiqeen, Shuhada and Salihin. And at the end it says, Hasuna ula'ika rafiqa, excellent companions are they, which according to Allama Tabatabai implies sorry about that, implies again that the people who obey God and the messenger are the companions of these people, not from these people. And the verse itself says, أُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ, they are with them, not مِنَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ, not from those upon whom Allah has bestowed his favor. So we are talking about a very special, specific category of people which are distinguished from other believers. Now, if you remember in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, when Allah talks about the categories of the people who arrive in the arena of the judgment, it says, وَكُنْتُمْ أَزْوَاجًا ثَلَاثَةً, you are of three types. Azwaj here means types. You are of three types. فَأَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ مَا أَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ, the people of the bliss, or the people of the right hand, they are the same thing. And how can I describe for you what they are? وَأَصْحَابُ, or their situation. وَأَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ Ma ashabul mash'ama, and the people of misery, or the people of the left hand. And how should their situation, their position be explained? It means it is not explainable in your words, in your language. And then, so we have these two groups, people of the right, people of the left, or people of bliss, people of misery. And then it says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ. There are some people who are not from the first group, Ashabul Yamin, Ashabul Maymana, and not from the second group, Ashabul Mash'ama, but they are distinguished from Ashabul Yamin, stand out as a different category. These are those who went ahead of others in this world and became muqarrabun, those brought close, those who were taught the secrets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sorry about that. And know the secrets of the creation, or anything that Allah has intended to give them as a gift in terms of knowledge. So these al-muqarrabun are a different category. And also, as we mentioned before, in Surah Al-Hamd, Fatihatul Kitab, what we say is that اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us to the right path. However, Allah has guided many people to the right path before, but they went astray, and they took that right path, they took the very revelation to become a means of deviation. They took the book of God, interpreted it in a way to become a means of deviation. If they did it intentionally, if they did that intentionally, then they are maghdubun alayhim. Allah's wrath is upon them. If they did it unintentionally, they didn't know what they were doing, their interpretations were wrong, but not intentionally, they are from dhalin, those who went astray. Now, we say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us to the right path. But, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor. Those who understood the revelation, followed it, became an example, became a benchmark, became a shahid, a witness for that, and not those اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, not those upon whom your wrath fell, and not those who went astray, but those who received the revelation, but you had a favor, extra favor on them. They used the revelation correctly. Guide us to their path. So it means that we are different. We are different from them. They are different group of people. And this verse is actually explaining in more details who are those upon whom Allah has bestowed His favor. As we said in Surah Al-Hamd, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, who are those upon whom Allah has bestowed His favor? These are the ones. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ. They are with those, whoever obeys God and the Messenger. Sorry. They are with those who have received the favor of Allah, who are blessed by Allah. And these are who مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ. 4 categories of people are mentioned here. مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ, the truthful, والشهداء, the witnesses, والصالحين, the righteous, and excellent companions are they. It means these people go to paradise by default. They don't wait for accounting because they have nothing except God in their hearts. They intend nothing except to go closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are purified for the next life, not for this life. إِنَّا أَخْلَصْنَاهُمْ وَاذْكُرْ عِبَادَنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ أُولِي الْأَيْدِي وَالْأَبْصَارِ إِنَّا أَخْلَصْنَاهُمْ بِخَالِصَةٍ ذِكْرَ الدَّارِ. They were purified for one thing, and that was remembering the next life, remembering Akhirah, and by that, of course, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before that. So, these are different from mu'mineen. Mu'mineen, the believers, have to follow them. And if they follow them, they will go where they go, but will not become from them. These are created in this way. Allah has created them in this way so that they become guides for others. This is a very, very crucial point that we have to pay attention to. Sometimes we think that these positions can be just attained by anyone. No, it cannot. So why Allah has created them differently? Allah has created us in this world to try us. Try in the sense that to bring out what we intend, what we have, what we love, what we like, and what we hate in our hearts. For that, some people have been created differently from the beginning to take the whole race, human race, with them to paradise. They have heavy duty. They have big responsibility. It's not easy. They are created like that, but they are certainly given more responsibility, loaded with more responsibility. No one can be born as an ordinary people and then become a prophet, become a Nabi. It's not possible. Like from the birth. But when we say from the birth, it doesn't mean that from the birth they receive revelation. No, they are created in this way. Why they are created in this way? Because they have to guide the whole host of human beings to paradise. And their number is not very, very many, as we know. ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنَ الْآخِرِينَ. A large group among the ancients, but very few among the later generations. But they are created like that, given big responsibility. They have their own free will. They have their own dispositions, but of course they are given extra strength in their faith so that they could guide others. These exceptional people are created exceptionally to fulfill the promise of God, إِنَّ عَلَيْنَا لَلْهُدَى, we guide. And of course we have created people for that, and then we work in the heart as well. So no one can be born as an ordinary person, then become a Nabi. I was just mentioning this verse, I forgot. وَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِإِسْحَاقَ نَبِيًّا مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. We gave him the good tiding about Ishaq, a Nabi. So he was born a Nabi. But of course, being born a Nabi doesn't mean they receive revelation. They have full knowledge, as they will receive later on. But they are a different type of people. Can people become Siddiqeen? Siddiqeen are one step below the Nabiyeen, the truthful. And it means, what is a Siddiq? A Siddiq is someone who is truthful in their speech, of course. This is the most shallow category of it, the easiest part. Then their actions is conformant with what they say, supports their claims, and their claims and their actions support what is in their heart and in their mind in belief. This is truth. And therefore they have a position very close to position of the Anbiya. Like Maryam, Allah says in the Quran very clearly, she was a Siddiqah. ما المسيح ابن مريم إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل وأمه صديقة. Mother of Jesus was a Siddiqah. In narrations we have Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib was a Siddiq. All our A'imma were Siddiqeen. You see, their position is very close to the position of the Prophet. They are born like that. Fatimatu Zahra Salamullah alayha was a Siddiqah. And can ordinary people reach that level? Of course, they never can. An ordinary person born as an ordinary person can never become a Nabi. However, yes, they can go very close to the position of Siddiqeen, but not the position of Isma to become a Ma'asum. So they are born Ma'asum. You may say, if they are born Ma'asum, so what's their advantage over us in terms of reward? I mean, God has created them Ma'asum. No, it's not like that. They are Ma'asum in the sense that they have extra protection from Allah. But if they violate it, then the consequences will be so dire that is not imaginable by an ordinary person. So these are the Siddiqeen which have the position of Sidq in all its categories: speech, action, belief, intention, all that goes together. And then we have something which Allama Tabatabai Rahmatullah Alayh mentions as Sidq Khabari, Sidq Mukhbiri. Sidq Mukhbiri, Mukhbir is the one who speaks, who reports. Sidq Mukhbiri means that when they speak the truth. They, in ordinary cases, we may speak the truth according to our best, to the best of our knowledge. This is Sidq Mukhbiri. The speaker is truthful because he thinks that he is saying the truth. Sidq Khabari is that, in addition to that, they know that what they say is really the truth. It's not just them thinking that they are saying the truth. So for that, they have to have full knowledge. They have to be ma'asum. So Siddiq has such a position. Then comes Shuhada. What Shuhada? Min al-Nabiyyin was Siddiqeen. Remember, if we obey God and His Messenger, inshallah, we are from Ashabul Maymanah, from the people of the bliss, from Ashabul Yameen, people of the right. However, of course, we are not placed in any of these categories, but Allah tells us that you will go and stay with them. And as the next verse mentions, ذَلِكَ الْفَضْلُ مِنَ اللَّهِ. This is the grace that cannot be attained just like that. It comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. Now, the next group among these muqarrabun is a special people with whom the Ashabul Yamin are going to stay and be companions of are shuhada. Shuhada is the plural of shaheed. Now, shaheed may have different meanings. Usually, in ordinary language, in our narrations, in Arabic, shaheed is translated as a martyr. And that's true. But the Quran never uses that in this sense. Martyrs in the Quran are referred to as الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, those who are killed in the way of God or for the cause of God. Of course, martyr is only that. Anyone who's killed for the cause of God, to protect the cause of God. This is shaheed. But, as I said, the term shaheed is not used. The term is الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Shaheed is used in a couple of meanings in the Quran. One is a role model. When it's used in positive connotation and with a tone of praise, it has the meaning of shahid, someone who is actually standing out, is a witness over others for their actions, for their beliefs, and anything like that. يا أيها النبي إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا. This is one meaning. You are a benchmark. One meaning of witness. And of course, to be witnesses to the people, one has perfect witness in this sense, a benchmark, a role model. One has to have full perfection. That is the one that Allah would set as a benchmark. The other meaning which are used is as witness. وَاللَّهُ شَهِيدٌ بِمَا تَفْعَلُونَ or عَلَى مَا تَفْعَلُونَ. God is a witness over what you do. فَكَيْفَ إِذَا جِئْنَا مِنْ كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ بِشَهِيدٍ وَجِئْنَا بِكَ عَلَى هَؤُلَاءِ شَهِيدًا. What will happen when from every nation we bring out a witness? And then we bring you as a witness over them. Now, them may refer to those witnesses, or them may mean to the ummah of the Prophet, the Muslimin. So, it can also be used in the meaning of role model and benchmark here, that you and other Nabiyin come as a benchmark for judging people, that these are the ones whom you should have followed in word, in action, in belief, and whatever they were. This is the other meaning of shaheed, witnesses. Also witnesses over the actions. Another meaning of shaheed is means being present. It's used in this sense in the Quran as well. In verse 72 of this very chapter, Surah Nisa, وَإِنَّ مِنْكُمْ لَمَنْ لَيُبَطَّئَنْ فَإِنْ أَصَابَتْكُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالَ قَدْ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيَّ إِذْ لَمْ أَكُمْ مَعَهُمْ شَهِيدًا. And when Allah is actually commanding people to go forth with the Prophet for jihad, some people delayed, were lethargic for doing that, and when they stayed behind, if some affliction afflicted you, if some defeat or other things afflicted you, they say, Allah has blessed me that I were not present with them. إِذْ لَمْ أَكُمْ مَعَهُمْ شَهِيدًا. To be present. Sorry. Okay, this is a very tangible meaning. But it may lead us to another meaning for shaheed. And that is someone who is always present in his understanding, present in obedience, present in khushu and khudu of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the one who always feels the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always watchful of God, feel his togetherness with themselves, togetherness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This may be, but naturally, of course, in the Quran is used in that very tangible meaning, to be present, to be present in the battle. Another meaning of shaheed which is used in the Quran, possessors of divine knowledge. شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط. Allah is a shaheed or a shahid. In this sense, both words have the same meaning. Is a shaheed or a shahid that there is no God but him. Of course, this shahada is different from our shahada. It is that everything is in his presence and he sees that. And also the angels and ulul ilm, those who have who are possessed with knowledge, have divine knowledge. These are shuhada as well. Now, whatever the case, I mean, witnesses of actions of the people, witnesses of tawheed, in the sense that they teach it to other people, witnesses of, as benchmark, as role models, whatever the case, these shuhada are a different category of people. مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء. And the last category are والصالحين, the righteous. When we say فاطمة صديقة شهيدة, it of course it may mean that she was martyred, but that is, I don't think this is meant in this statement. It means she was both a Siddiqa and a Shahida, as these two categories inform us or teach us. Siddiqatun Shahida. Or Assalamu alayka ayyuha Siddiq al-Shahid. Again, it may, be a reference to Shahada or martyrdom, but it means that they are in the category of Siddiqeen and in the category of Shuhada, witnesses. And one very interesting thing is that the Greek word martyrs, I'm sure you have heard this, means both martyr and witness. Because giving one's life for a certain cause is the highest testimony showing one's conviction to that cause, isn't it? So it gives us the both meaning. وَالصَّالِحِينَ, the righteous, are a higher level than those who do righteous deeds. These are not those who do righteous deeds, salihin. Righteous in the sense that they are qualified. Salih means someone who's qualified for something. They are qualified for something which other people are not qualified for it. Although, of course, these righteous acts emanate from them, but they have something more than just ordinary people who do righteous acts. Those whose very essence is transformed into a righteous essence. So it's not their deeds which we call righteous, or we call right. It's their essence which we call righteous. So again, this different. There are many people who are salihin. Inshallah, we are from salihin as well, but not salihin in this sense. وَنَبِيًّا مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Or as Ibrahim alayhi salam mentions, رَبِّ هَبْ لِي مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Give me one of the salihin as a child, as an offspring. هَبْ لِي مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Of course, someone who is a Nabi may have all these lower categories as well. Or when he prays to God, وَأَلْحِقْنِي بِالصَّالِحِينَ. Make me join the salihin in the next life. So this righteousness is not only an attribute of their actions, it is part of their substance and essence. So these are the salihun. Let me, just before I finish, our time is over. The Quran praises many prophets for being among salihin. Prophet Abraham asked God, as I mentioned, grant him a child who would be among the righteous. رَبَّ هَبْ لِي مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Or Prophet Joseph Solomon pray to be joined with the righteous, isn't it, in the du'as that we have. رَبِّ أَوْزِعْنِي أَنْ أَشْكُرَ نِعْمَتَكَ الَّتِي أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيَّ وَعَلَى وَالِدَيَّ. And at the end it says, وَأَلْحِقْنِي بِالصَّالِحِينَ. Prophet Shu'aib hopes that he is among the salihun. All these verses show the lofty station of this group. So, before moving further, I think we have finished with that. The Anbiya are the Sadat, the highest, the cream of creation, of human beings. Then Siddiqun, then Shuhada, who can see the reality of things, witness the reality of things, and maybe the a'mal and actions of people and their intentions. And then, of course, Salihan, who are qualified, Salihun, who are qualified for receiving Karamatullah. These are the four. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the good news here, that man yuti' Allah wa Rasul, if you believers obey God and the messengers, you will be with them in paradise on the day of judgment, and you will enjoy their company. وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. Inshallah, Allah would grant us that, and inshallah we be a rafiq of the Prophet and other messengers and A'imma alayhimus salam in paradise. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابُ وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَى مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ الطَّاهِرِينَ. And I apologize for my bad voice, my coarse voice, which is just a remnant of an illness.